Or start recording. That way, when I jump off, I can at least update it. It leaves you thinking, hey, where do I get in? How do I fit into this scenario? Are we going to continue the gap up? Is it just going to be like the last 2 weeks? Are we going to fade off of this? And so it makes it very difficult for us to get committed to a position, right? And I was just talking to my wife, and she's like, I if I had tons of capital, which she thinks I do, I won't tell her how much I really have. Just kidding. But if we have stock, I was trying to explain to her, she's like, if I buy stock, then I don't have to worry about the Greeks and, then I'm just good to go, right? And then I'm like, it's not that easy. If you're still down, you're down, right? So, anyways, let's go over here to the ES futures, man. They're pumping up. Nice move, 5 minute. Look, I cannot make this stuff up, guys. If there's one thing you do in this room, use the blueprint, learn how to just trade SPY. I mean, seriously, learn how to just trade SPY or the SPX. Use the blueprint when we wake up in the morning. Look at your targets. What we're looking at here, price moved into 27.69. Now we're moving up into the monthly edge. Your monthly edge is 2773. Look for price to move into this. It is opening. We are gapping up right into resistance. I know you don't want to hear that, especially if you're just waiting for that bullish move. It doesn't mean we can't, but what are we looking for over the monthly? Okay, we're looking for the break, a base, higher high. This gives us that move. Okay, notice here above this target, what we're waiting for is once we pierce, I just want you to see this. We go up to target, we pull back, and then we make that drop, a base and a higher high, take the trade, moves up. You see what I'm saying? Get to resistance, breaks, comes back, bases, higher high, takes off. Okay, it's easier said than done because on each wick or with SPY, remember 10 points is $1 in the SPY. All right, so these are our targets here. Let's go over now. How do you get to where you want to be above this? Well, it's easy. You're going to use the range on a 5 minute. If we're wanting to trade SPY again, here's the monthly. We're going to follow this over to the left. You're going to see there's a lot of confluence here, folks. That's what's amazing about the edges. If you follow this across, you could see that there's a wick here. You can also see that there's a continuation wick. I teach about that. So this is going to be your target just right above 2775. Value above there gets you into this wick, all right, or this candle. So it's going to be 2781. And then above that, we have a previous edge. Okay, and that's going to get you up into where we finally went from green into neutral and then sold off. So then you're going to get this target. Okay, and that's how that looks. And if you look across the board, across Twitter, you'll see that some of these numbers are, popular. And I'm not saying they're doing the same thing because there's confluence here when you're using fibs, Elliott waves, things like that. I find this to be very easy. Come up to the left and look for your targets. Again, 2775 above there, 2781, 2788, and then the round number of 2800 to 2804 would be your targets on ES. Looking at tonight's range, if you just look from the LIS, basically you don't want to come back underneath the weekly edge right here. That's at 2760. If we do, look for 2756 and down to 2749. Okay, you want to trade SPY. How are you going to trade SPY? Right? Literally, if we get the move back from the monthly, you want to see it come back into the 9. That's this green line here. It also happens to be my target. I love the confluence here. Like I said, the numbers I had to study for a couple weeks. That's why it's kind of out of action. And I'm trying to find what works best with zones, all right? Because one thing just to throw some lines on there, but if there's no confluence, it's not going to make sense on supply and demand trading, okay? So you could see here, if we pull back right into the open, we should see a move back into the 9 and this target. And then looking for a scalp trade up and into this area here at 75.81. Now, the Dow Jones has another, 200 points until supply. Let me look over here and see what it's trading at. Yeah, 2507. Basically, supply is around 25.2. So that would give us another 20 points in the ES if we can build value above here. And if you look above, that pretty much puts us, up into these targets of 88 and 28.04. That would be amazing to the upside. All right. Real quick, looking at focus trades here. I have many focus trades. These are just the ones that are on my radar. Looking at COUP. Okay, and I'm going to show you these really fast instead of on the small screen. So I'm going to type these in. Okay, remember, and I'm going to write this down in the lessons channel. This is actually pretty cool, but I want everybody to understand. You guys have been in here for a while. You understand this. This is a gap up. How do we approach a gap up? We take the cash close or the line in the sand. We're going to go to the pivot high. You notice this candle over here. Notice where price is. Notice my notes in the focus trade. We are above the 23.6. We want to see bids above. What does bids mean? Some traders have asked me, what do you mean bid above? That just means people are paying up for price above this level of 23.6. If we can keep it above 109.70, looking for a quick into 110.22, 111.4, and then this pre-market high, okay, of 111.95, and then we had the monthly and the weekly up here, some confluence there, lots of resistance most likely into the 114, 115 level. How do you stay in this trade? Right? Let's say you execute above the 23.6, you're going to stay in it as long as it holds, right? One of these EMAs for intraday. The idea is to trade this and let it work for you. And when it turns into a big winner, you as a trader can decide at the end of the day, is this going to be something that I want to swing overnight? 95% of you will probably say no. Just looking at the past there, okay? So anyways, that's COUP. What I'm looking at over here on, I believe I have already some options loaded. You can see them over here. So I actually have the puts and the calls loaded. I have the 115 calls loaded for this week, and I have the put 105 loaded. And so I'll wait until we open up and see what kind of action we get here. Now, again, don't forget the bar candle setup. I'm asking all of you that are technical traders, please go back on a 5-minute candle, okay, and just pick out your favorite stocks. This is nothing new, folks. This is nothing new. I've been teaching this almost 2 years. It's just that typically we use this around a line in the sand or the edge. But what we're finding is really in the first hour or so of the market, hour and a half, once you get that bar signal up to down, it's working out really well. I encourage you to go back, look at it again. Let me draw it for you in case you've forgotten. We're looking for this, this, and then this to the upside. Stops can go here or here. This is a system. We take it, stop. If you obey your stop, you're not going to lose much. If you disobey it, you could lose a lot of money. On the put side, right, we're looking for drop, same thing, base, lower low, stops above here, stops above there. Okay. Talking to Scott yesterday. I don't think he's in here on audio, but if he is, he can join in and kind of tell you. He does really, really well using almost the same exact technique. He prefers the doji. For me, it doesn't matter. What I do care about is that this candle here has to close within the end candle. The end candle being the initial candle. The initial candle. Okay. So that's what we're looking at there. And you could see. I'll show you this a little bit more as we open up here into the open. Next thing we're going to look for is, I like BABA, but BABA's already moved. This is what I'm talking about on these pre-market moves. It literally has moved to my target. Look at it. I mean, right there. And I made these at like 2 hours ago. So right here, 151.87 stops. So what do you do from here? In gap ups, you have to be patient. We're going to have to be patient here. All right. There's two things. You can pay up and you can buy above here. And if it breaks one of these levels, you can get out, right? You're going to lose the trade. The easier trade for me, and it stinks to sit here and wait, right, is to wait for these to pull back and see that once these EMAs can catch up, that we begin to bid above those and then we make higher highs. We could take the trade using this as the stop. But always understanding that gaps can be filled, and if these are broken, we're looking for the retest of the LIS or the cash close. Okay, so BABAs are loaded, looking for 152.5 calls for this week. Again, just waiting for the setup. Moving over to Amazon. I had Amazon in my account yesterday, not this account, our personal trading account, and it did me in. I mean, it literally did. Like I bought somewhere down here. I was up several $100s on these are at the monies, $3,000 calls, and it pushed down a little bit here, and then I was up again, and then we wake up here and we're flat. So yeah, those are expensive, and they can. You think these smaller stocks can do you, and these at the monies can be quite a roller coaster. So what are we looking for? Same thing. Nice little gap up here. Notice how it's starting to pinch. These lines are starting to pinch here. We did come into target of 1702. Look for this to hold. If it can hold, I want to see the breakdown. I want to see it come back into the line in the sand. That's what I would like to see across the board. And then start to get the bid above. Then start to see the candle signal set up for us, and then take the trade from there. Okay, Amazon again targets 1702, 1716, 1731. It is Tuesday, so the premiums on these are really high. So just understand that. Autodesk had a huge sell-off yesterday. It did come to a level here on the daily and the weekly. I want to see if it's going to get bid above the LIS. I'll be watching this as well. For formation for these EMAs to catch up to get above those and ride those potentially, up into 157.33 into the weekly edge at 159 to 160. I like the Autodesk trade. Okay. Do I have these loaded? Let's see here. 157.5 calls, and this is this week as well. Okay. Netflix. This one's probably going to be a hot name this morning. People get excited. They're like, man, it's been upgrading. Look where it went to, folks. Straight up to the weekly edge. Bummer. And we had the monthly edge. Look over here. You can see when underneath here, they are resistance. Let's see if it can actually overtake this. And if it can, then we'll start looking for targets up above. Basically, what we'd like to see is weekly edge to weekly edge, 359 being your upper target. Again, if given the setup, we'll just ride the EMAs and get out once that's broken. That's the plan for today on some of these. Again, I'm looking at the big picture. Omer asked a great question this morning about 5 minute versus. Anytime I have targets on my charts, I'm actually looking at range, and then I'm looking at 1 to 2 hours, 4 hours. I mean, the minimum. I'm not trading equity trades off of 5 minute candles. You can, if you're good at doing supply and demand, which I've been doing for quite a while. If you look on here, you can see we have an entire range of from 355 all the way down to 332. Even though I'm looking at a 5 minute, I understand that supply can come in around the 50 and the 88.7. All right, so typically that's your first key to find those levels. You're in Twitter, Omer. I think you're listening. You're in Twitter. We already talked about that this morning. There's going to be a lot of setups across the board. I'm watching a lot of stuff outside of this screen that you can see. If something pops up, I'm going to alert. This is a great time. I'm happy to be back. I am back. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be on here in the mornings. Again, I'm not trying to cut my work short, but what I found over the year was that I spent a lot of time online, and not a lot of traders are actually consistently watching. So I want to be on here during the busiest parts of the morning, so that we can at least learn together and or trade together, and then pop back on if the market dictates that we need to. But typically after that 2 hours, the market's just kind of chopping around, eating up theta. And if you still have positions on, it's good for you to manage, but I don't think that it's healthy to be in front of the screens this entire time. You end up doing some crazy stuff. Anyways, about to ring here in about 1 minute. So we will get back to that here in a few minutes. And again, going to be patient. If I'm using a 5 minute candle, then most likely looking at for about 15 minutes for, at least for something to shape up here. So as soon as the bell rings, unless you're in positions, you're just kind of chilling out and watching right now. Okay, you just want to study the action. Okay, bye, bye, bye. Just kidding. Okay, you see Baba, if you're watching these. I'm going to bring this down so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, and you can see here, Coop, just above the 23.6. Let's see if we can get that pullback down there. Autodesk, same thing, above the LIS. Notice how the lines are pinching right around the cash close. I love that. Love the confluence here with these numbers. Has anybody that's listening actually apply this to their charts or anything like that? I'm just kind of curious. And if not, no big deal either. There goes Coop, right, right above the. Hey Phil, just want to ask, can you see everything? I noticed you kind of jumped in and out there. Just want to make sure everything's working for you. You can see here, Coop got the bid above the 23.6, right, and then push right up into the monthly and then backs off a little bit here. Okay, Amazon right into target pre-market, pulls back, boom, all the way back down, almost to the LIS here. Okay, Baba pullback as well. I want you guys to really pay attention to what we're seeing here because you have to study and you have to have a scenario for everything. Your scenario today would be what? We gapped up, and where does price gap up to? I mean, almost in every one of these charts, price has gapped up to one of my targets and then sold off. Notice on Coop, it might be hard for you guys to see, and I apologize. Notice when Coop got the bid, right above the 23.6, it shot up right into my target here at the monthly. Okay, you can see it here. Okay, now notice the EMAs start to catch up a little bit, and when we pull, they tend to then you see, are they supported or are they not? Once we start breaking down underneath them, the idea for me is not to short this, it's to see if we can pull down into the LIS. Okay, we talked about that this morning. Boom is one of those that I've been tracking for quite some time. Love the name, right? But it is pretty strong. And again, it's only been 3 minutes since the open, so we're going to give them some time. I'm going to move those out of the way. And you can see Netflix here. Nice move above the weekly into the monthly. What? Would you be starting that? And you see Amazon actually came right into the LIS and bounced. I almost took like an equity trade from there just to show you guys that, but I've done that before just to show you how powerful those are. Again, just gonna wait here. I know it's pretty boring, right? But this is kind of how it is when we open up like this, right? And sometimes you're going to get tested. I mean, there's going to be times that, you might be only focusing on one thing. Let's say if we were just focusing on Netflix here, I mean, you'd be sitting here looking like, damn, is this going to pull back? I mean, I think in most cases, stocks always pull back at some point, right? But there are mornings where it feels like it's never going to happen, so you end up chasing it. Um, my biggest thing is if you're going to chase it, I think that it's good to scale into. You see Amazon now -4 underneath the LIS. Let's also look at the advancers. Just kind of want to see where the overall market is. I would say with the market gap up, then yeah, it's going to be above 2000 there. So okay, let's look at some other earnings. Looking at Tiffany's. Netflix getting that bid, right? That part, it's just like, man, I want to jump on it. Tiffany, high in 94, nice. So this didn't even play out here. We just gapped up over that at the weekly edge. Not much to do here. See if you get bids above the weekly at 93.26, can get a move up into $98 there. Patience, patience, patience. CMG up 8, man. Some of these have been hard, folks. I don't know if anybody's trading outside of trading in here. I mean, I haven't been making many trades either, but I'm just kind of curious. Has anybody been making trades? Kind of share some of your trades with us. I'm kind of curious how you've been doing. I know folks that were short CMG, then they were long CMG, and it seems like if they kept it overnight in all those cases, it did the exact opposite the next day. It's been kind of crazy. So it's been great for intraday trades. And banks too. Banks are looking good. I'm gonna actually look over here at GS and see what's going on. We're almost here at 10 minutes. Nice. Coop lost that bid underneath the 23.6. I'm watching some banks here. JPM up $1 too. Sometimes these things can really They're, the option prices are a little bit cheaper. Okay, just want to kind of show you what waiting can do. Here's our charts. You can see here, Coop, it came right up into target, sold off. Okay, now just kind of hanging out here. We got boom, same thing. We waited, pull back into this area here. Baba, same thing, pull back into the 44. Amazon, pull back into the LIS. ADSK, pull back into the LIS here. And so this kind of setting up a little bit. Netflix pulling back a little bit. Netflix is one that it looks like, right, if we base here and we close within this candle and then we get the higher high, this could be a nice push today in Netflix. Okay, so just kind of watching closely here. Hey, Underdog, you're in the room. I think you reached out to me the other day ago about Disney. Did you take that? Yeah, the right idea. Looks good. Okay, so Baba came down and pushed off of the 44 nicely. Want to see it start building value here above the 150, 150 area. Still watching that. Amazon still hanging out at the LIS. Yeah, let's see what Tesla looks like. This was actually on Squawk or whatever it's called yesterday. They were saying, man, this thing's so ugly that it just can't go down anymore. We already know it came into a level from a long time ago, so yep, nice trade there. You see this is that formation we were talking about. Look at the expansion candle though, how big it is. So here's a great example here. So we have this, but we also have the weekly edge here at 185.33. So let's see what happens here. And we'll come back to that. Baba, a nice move off the 40 45, 44, whatever you have in there. Kind of like in this ADSK off of the levels here. Let's go here. Tesla's looking good, folks. I mean, check it out above the edge. You definitely have, so you have the box set up here. What I'd like to see is a little push below into the EMA to reset, but that's your look right there. Okay. And want to see it kind of come down into about 182.5. Not sure that's going to happen, but we'll see. Tesla wasn't on my focus list today, but we can definitely make it. Now, again, futures pointing up here, and some of these names can't get off the ground. I mean, seriously, that's how I see this. Especially some of our big names. Let's go over here to Apple, see what we set up for on the day. Okay, same thing here. Nice move on Apple. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the same way. There's going to be some chop until we get some kind of setup here. I mean, Amazon's looking pretty weak underneath the LIS here. Boom is looking pretty good. And there goes Amazon into the lower target underneath the LIS. One thing I explained to you guys last time we did this on a Friday was looking at how the setup on the candle can really help out. And what I mean is it can keep you from making costly mistakes. Because if you don't see the setup, you don't take the trade. Does everybody see what I'm talking about? So it could have been easy to jump into, let's say, let's look at Amazon just really quick. So notice you don't have the, the candle setup. You don't have it at all on the upside. So you don't take this trade, and then it leads to this, you know. This was your 76.4. Let's see if we get a move back down into there. Talked about this, sorry, on the morning trend this morning. I didn't upload it because it somehow recorded something over the picture here. So, and let's take a look at Netflix really quick. Just want to show you guys the results here. Okay, so here's Netflix. Still no setup. See, no setup, so no position. We're above the monthly right now. Excuse me. Nothing there. Now I want to show you Coop because it could be setting up here for the down. We'll see how these turn out. You gotta love this market though, right? Did Twitter get to your target? You get right into that zone there, Omer? Let's see if it did. I'm sure you're looking at it, but I didn't look. So we had Twitter up here around 35.60. So Omer, see what I mean with the EMAs on here on the 5 minute? Now, what I will tell you is, I don't know if you're, so what I find is the 5 minute is great for entry. Notice how it's carrying the 9. Coming over here to a 10 minute is a lot cleaner. Okay, so trading and depending on your risk tolerance, the 10 minute is really clean after you entry. But you came into the day with the position, so it's up to you. But say we entered on the 5 minute, the 10 really cleans it up, man. And if you look at the 10, check this out. I mean, it's just really, I mean, to me, it's clean. If you see what I mean, it's just boom, boom, boom. Things are looking good, you know. Yeah, 10, I personally I think the 10 minutes great, man, once you get into the trade. Amazon right down into target there underneath the list at 1680.26. That's 88.7 of yesterday's low, I believe. It bouncing a little bit there, but man, that thing looks weak. CVS is getting a little bit of flow into it. Nothing crazy. Let's go over and check it out to see what it looks like. Also, like I said, Autodesk is looking pretty good. Baba's looking good off of the 9 now. Okay, looking at taking Baba here, at least to start out. And so if you're, kind of jumpy and you're not filling it, what you can do is what I mean is just really just scale in. It's totally up to you how you approach this, right? So 152.5. See if I can get or the 150s. Let me see what I got here. I'm gonna do here. So I'm just grabbing two of these right here. Okay, and all I want to see is that it can hold for right now, the 44. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to switch over to the 10. Okay, is anybody in NVIDIA? I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay, so looking at adding some here. Get a nice little drop base rally in here. See what we can get here. We get that touch of the 9 again. We are at the edge, so I'm just a little cautious here. Okay, and then we're going to switch this over, right? We just want to see this area hold for today. Be careful, it is the trendy edge, so excuse me, so I'm just being patient here with some of these ads and so forth. Again, I do like Autodesk here, so I might be looking at adding a little bit of that as well. Tesla's still getting some sweeps here. It's up a nice 650. Nice move there. See, the puts are making money on the coup. I want to go back to that and just look really quick. All right, so there's Coop on the 10 minute. So we get a nice little look to the downside here. Price can move down into 99 or so. I don't like the spreads on these though. Let's see, we get a little pushback up to 105.40 and then possible short here. We'll come back to that. Let's go to some healthcare stuff, UNH. Oh, come on. Okay, not looking good. Let's go to Anthem. Okay, a lot of these things above the weekly edge, looking at Anthem here, somebody asked me privately, um, see if you get a pullback here. I mean, you should have some confluence right here at the weekly. I can try to take an entry here. The advancer is just kind of flat. Like to see these actually advance. Okay. Boom curling off of the 9 and the 22 there. Looks really thinly traded, so I'm not too sure I'm interested in that name now. I mean, it might be better for an equity trade. Netflix had a nice little pullback. COUP came right down into the monthly. I just want to show everybody that really quick. That cool, right? If you don't have the edges, reach out to me. If you have Thinkorswim, I need to talk to my buddy and see if we can get these on TradingView as well. I'm pretty sure we can. Netflix, down, holding so far the 9. This might be a good entry actually, but let's see if we can get the 44. Again, boom, looking pretty good off of the 9 there. Well, that kind of depends, Anil. Are you listening? Let's change this Autodesk here to NVDA. Holy cow, man, this is working so slow today. Okay, just gonna trim there. I'm just being safe, guys. I mean, the market, gives and it takes. So, Baba also add entries, so just be careful. Right? That's why we're trimming. And again, guys, I'm not going big or anything, just trying to teach you the setup. That's what it's all about. So I hope you appreciate that. Whether you take 10 positions in this or 50 positions, I want you to get used to what we're looking for here. On BABA, I mean, it still looks good, right? So on the 10 minutes, still above. But just because it stays above, if it goes sideways for 5 hours, you're still going to lose money on the theta side, okay, of that position. So just understand that. Hey, good job, Omer. Seriously, man. So anybody that's interested in Omer and I's conversation the other day, we recorded it, and he teaches me how to do these setups that he's doing. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, it's amazing. It really is. And the reason why I say that it's amazing is because you're taking the emotion out of it. I mean, you seriously are. So what's happening is you're still using my blueprints, you're still using the targets. And if I tell you, for example, in the morning, hey, we need to wait for Amazon to get down into the LIS, Coop, right? Here it is at the LIS and it's bouncing. What he's doing is he's setting up. So I'm gonna post it, Jeff, as soon as he gives me permission, if that's okay, Omer, and I'm sure he will. But so basically, the idea of it is that if I said, hey, I'm waiting for the LIS on COUP, right? It's you're taking the emotion out. Instead of me sitting here watching it, I know that when I did the analysis, that my analysis is good. Everybody knows that, right? So, but the execution at times, why do we suck at execution sometimes, right? Does that make sense? So if you think about it, it's when you're watching charts that your execution is hesitant. You're like, oh man, it's doing this, and I don't know. I'm looking at this over here, and this room says this, and my buddy says this, and you take your trade off. And then by the time that you wait for it, you buy too late. What Omer is doing is that he's blocking all of that out, and he's already putting in his conditional orders that says, for example, Coop comes down into the line in the sand at 102.47. I'm willing to buy it when price gets there and the option price, and it all varies, and I'm sure he'll jump on one day and help. But if option price increases by 1%, I'm willing to take the trade. And then the second line is saying when Coop reaches 106.84, I will then it adds a trailing stop of X percentage. So he's allowing the trade to continue to work for him to target, but he's also has a third trigger in there that says if it hits that line in the sand and then it pulls back X percentage, then he's getting out of the trade. So you have three different triggers there for one trade. And you have no emotion. Now, it's very important that you get those right, because if you don't get them right, then you're buying something when you shouldn't have bought it and so forth. So, all right, so on Nvidia, you have 60 cents to the contract size. Sorry, I'm reading some comments in the background. Yeah, good job, man. You know. Um, so so this is the part that I talk about as well, is on Nvidia, right? Is some traders, and I want everybody to understand this, we all have different things that we're shooting for. So if you guys don't mind, those that are listening to me, please chime in, so that I can kind of get a better understanding. What I say and what you guys do. I kind of want to know what you do, right? So if I buy 10 contracts, I don't look at the price of it, okay? Uh, and I get, like, depending on your account size, that's different for everybody. But again, what I'm looking for is the right strategy, but you're trying to get X amount of move in your option underlining, right? So if I bought Nvidia at 190 and it's trading at 270 now, that's 80 cents to 10 contracts. I made 800 bucks for the day. Does everybody understand that? It's about strategy. It's not about the money. It's only about the money when you can't obey your stop. You see what I mean? Anybody? Bears? Does that make sense? I hope it does. So, one of my trader friends, he goes for a dollar. And so he does 10 contracts no matter what. And he's always trying to make $1,000 per trade. And he gets stopped out, then he gets stopped out for like 300 bucks. Okay. And typically these EMAs, what I found when I'm studying for 2 weeks, is that if you're stopped out on them, you're only losing about that much money. If you don't obey them, you're losing a lot more money. Okay. That's just how it goes. Okay, so when you're in a trade, like so Anil trimmed here at 138.75 or he got out of the trade, it's a good idea. I mean, it's a target, right? It's a target. So he's trimming, he's being careful, okay? And think about this. We know that price likes to move back to the 9. In order for this 9 to move up into target, you're either going to have to get a really strong spike or you're really going to have to pull back almost an entire dollar. So what you have to ask yourself here is, are you good with your profits? Is this something that you want to take off right now? Okay, so there's two different ways you can do this. If you have multiple trades, you can trim here, and I would say the trimming part is up to the trader. All right, so if you're trimming here, you want to take the majority of your profits so that maybe you have a runner or two. And then if it pulls back all the way here, you're not pissed off because you left on, 20 contracts and you just went down, 3 grand. So just something to think about, okay? But if you're following the process, I want to show you this. We're going to move this out of the way here, okay? And we're going to, and I'm interested in Anthem here. I got a buddy in here that's in this. I like the way it's pushing off the 9, the weekly as well. Looks like it's starting to round out here. So I may take this trade here in a few minutes. Just give me a little bit of time to watch the rest of these. Okay. Netflix also rounding up above the 9 here. Could be showing you it wants to get back to the highs. The cool thing here is if you take it, if it closes under 345, you're just not in it. So you're risking a buck. Okay. Oh, is it on the 5 minute? All right, let's go over here to 5 minutes on Anthem and see if we're getting the bar formation. Sorry, having problems with my words here. And so far, we have a drop base and a rally. I'd like to see it kind of flatten out here and get that rally, base rally, and then take the trade. So maybe a few minutes. We'll see how it forms up here. Okay, NVIDIA coming in at 295 by 305. So we got over a buck in this thing now. You have $1.10 actually per contract. Pretty nice move. So what we'd want to do here is coming up here, let's go to NVIDIA. So I have a couple choices here, right? So if you're in the 140 still, those are up nicely. Never give up, right? Never give up. Remember yesterday adding in slowly, it's all good. But you can see here, so if I want to ride this and I don't want it to come all the way back, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce my time frame to 2 minutes now. Okay, just like that. And what this does is it tightens up your risk, if it could just work. Okay, so 2 minutes now, you can see if it were to come back, price would drop to 138.41. Shit, that's almost $1. So I might have to make this a 1 minute. That's kind of funny. Oh man, sorry. Inside joke. Me and my friend talking last night about 1 minute traders. It's sort of funny. Come on. There we go. So notice how the 1 minute has tightened up. Okay. Now we're only talking about 40 cents, folks. So that's your risk here on 40 cents with this option. It's got a delta of 60. So that's $60 for every dollar move in the underlining. So every dollar that NVIDIA now moves, you're going to make 60 bucks per contract. Okay. So looking at that, oh my God, I'm on a 1 minute chart here. I forgot. Sorry. Okay, let's auto zoom this thing. Jeez. All right. Sorry. So for every dollar move in the underlining, that is NVIDIA, we're going to make 60 bucks. So if I drop half of that, what I can assume here is I'm going to lose about 30 to $35 if I get out on the 1 minute 9. Does that make sense to everybody on that contract? And we're going to sell there on the touch. So that's a nice gain just in that contract there from 190 to 3, whatever. And then over here on BABA, now let's go ahead and take a look at BABA here. It continues to push up as well. And NVIDIA still looks great, guys. So just depending on you don't have to do what I do. I'm showing you all kinds of different things, okay? All right, so here's BABA. And the BABA contracts we bought at 211, and now you're up about 50 cents. So on 10 contracts, that's $500. And on, the other trade you're looking at, you would have made it a good 700 bucks or so. So nice there. Okay. Lord, come on. What are you doing? It's very nice that the alerts are working very nicely this morning. It makes me happy. Even with the little bit of volume, they were actually pretty spot on. So I like that. What is wrong? Okay, sorry folks, I'm over here like getting irritated. We had a conversation going on Nice, Homer. Good job, man. You, J Rod, you're an addict, man. Okay, let's go over here to Baba. Okay, came up to the monthly edge, so I'm just going to sell here. Okay, and then I can look to re-enter if I want to. Okay, and so if we get the bids above the monthly and we start to look a little bit better there, we can jump back in. You know, we could roll out looking for 154.5 to 156. Ultimately, I think what's happening here is you move from the weekly, folks, and you're moving up into the upper weekly. Timing is always the variable. We don't know what that is. But that would be my targets, 154.60 to 156. Okay. And let's see here for these guys down here. If you're still holding some of these, let's sell one here. NVIDIA. I could have added there yesterday. That would have been really nice. Been a stud. But yeah, so anyways. Oh, is he? No Omer, but I will. Should I be? Okay, nice sell there on Baba for now. All right, let's go over here to Amazon. I might buy some equity in Amazon. I really don't feel like messing with the stock or the options. So just give me a second here. Nice move, by the way. Where do you think Amazon bounced, everybody? I hope you guys were watching the focus trades there. Look at that. I mean, I can't make this up, right? Down at the, did we get a bar signal off of the LIS there? We definitely got a go signal. You can see here, nice move. Wow. Okay. Oh, I'm on a 1 minute. I'm like, dude, something's wrong. Okay. So we haven't actually, for me, oh, never mind. I did right here. Sorry. This is, just so you guys can see this, this is the Amazon rally base rally. Everybody see that? Okay. So even buying the high off of this, I mean, you get a couple points here, but what we want to see now is that maybe during this talk by Jerome, market's going to pull back a little bit, and maybe you get that test of the 9 again. Oh, okay. Hey, Omer, did you end up purchasing Flow Algo? Are you just doing the trial right now? Okay, cool. I mean, I think I'm in like my fifth or sixth day, just checking it out for flow and stuff like that. But is that a room? I noticed there's like a chat room in there. I mean, is that like who's it owned by? I thought it was just data. I didn't realize. I don't know if you remember, but Garcia was in the room a long time ago as a trial member when I first opened. I was thinking maybe he's the owner. I could be wrong. I noticed he's in there. Pretty cool stuff though, you know? I mean, at least for any reason, like I always tell people, I mean, you can be a part of several different rooms or whatever. The idea is to extract what information is good for you. You know, it's just about, for me, it's about maybe names that aren't popping up on my list, and I just want to take a look, but I'm never going to take, somebody else's strategy. Like I'm always going to stick to, supply and demand, the edges. Um, the newest thing here is just using EMAs to stay in a trade, you know. So, oh yeah, I'm already out of this NVIDIA, so I'm going to take this off so I don't get jealous when it's at like 7. Netflix, maybe, let's go back to Anthem real quick and see how it's doing off of the weekly. And I got one more position here on the 140 calls. Um, very small. Yep, and that was a nice move there off the weekly, as you can see. It's already up. I can tell here it's up $1.30 from the last time I looked at it. Okay, and we did. Nope, I still haven't got it yet. Okay, target here is 285 though. I'm just gonna drop this last NVIDIA here. Good. Yeah. Yeah, you mean like far as having a strategy, Omer? Yeah, you can't just be like, I mean, if you're just out there buying stuff and it's cool, like you said, you're buying speculation on the LQD. I mean, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as, you understand it's speculation and you got a rule for speculation, right? So, as I was saying this morning, we all have different rules. And today's rule, I think you should jot it down in your journal, is on a gap up, what are we looking for? All right. And let's just kind of go over those steps real quick. On a gap up, we're looking for price to one, show us the candle pattern. Two, does it pull back into the EMA? Three, are we waiting for the list? Three of those things are going to happen. Where you execute the trade is going to be up to you. Okay? So wherever that may happen, that's up to you. The probabilities are that typically you can look it up online. There's different percentages around when price actually comes back and fills gaps and all that jazz. You can look that up and you can read into it. But it is a higher probability that we come back and at least fill a percentage of that gap. And that's kind of what happened today, right? In some of these names. They pulled back. You can see here, even in Anthem, we're just sitting here watching it. It pulled right down into the LIS and moved up. And then, as we were talking earlier, we wanted to see if price would hold the 9. And once it regained the 9, you can take this trade off of the 9. And then, do you pay up now? Say you missed it. Do you pay up now or do you wait for it to come back and touch the 9 again? That's up to you. Some different scenarios would be something like this, right? So you move up, okay, and this comes up. It just means that you're still going to be buying this higher in price, right? You're still buying this higher in price. But your entry is what's important. So if you buy on the touch of this and it comes back, right, and touches here, and then you buy and wait, and then you get this move, things work out really nice for you. Okay. Okay. So like right here on Baba, you see how we came back and we touched. So if you miss this entire move, what you could be saying to yourself is, hey, the advancers are above 2000. They're looking pretty good. Let me see. Do we have a lower low on this? Or a lower high, sorry. But you're making higher lows. We are advancing. So things are looking pretty good, right? And that's when the market tends to come back and bounce off of these EMAs and continue higher. Okay. The reason we sold is just to be safe. Here's a target. The reason I sold, I should say, because I know some of you guys are still probably in this. Um, for here, this is the monthly edge. I have to be careful. So my biggest thing of jumping on this morning was showing you the strategy that we're going to be using going forward. The idea is to be able to make money within the first hour of the trading day and be finished. Now, what you choose to do the rest of the day will define you as a trader, right? You either end up trading, all day, you end up losing your money, or you end up making more money. In most cases, a lot of traders end up losing more money, and then they're frustrated. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm not trying to take away the time that I have with you all. This room is super important to me, but what I want to do is be able to give a strategy, apply that strategy, and be finished with the day so that you can enjoy your day at, I would say work, but that doesn't sound very enjoyable. But you can enjoy your summer with your family and friends, and you could tell your friends and family, hey, I just made $1,000. It's 9:45 in the morning. The market's been open for an hour. Like, isn't that what we're all here to do? Or are we here to I mean, seriously, or are you here to be in front of the screens all day? I mean, I don't know, right? But I could tell you from experience, the time in front of the screens, too much time can be really, really hard on your emotions. So, all right, let's pull up. So look, I mean, you guys, we made money already, and so I'm not going to try to force anything here. Really, you have a good hour of my time right now. And so I would ask that you ask me some questions if you have the free time. If you don't, that's okay too, but I'm here for you. I want to be able to do as much as I can. All right, let's go over here. Let's take a look at and see what's going on with the market, just really quick. So we can kind of look at this. Okay, so I talked about this earlier, that we recaptured the 9 here, and I said this was a good buy. We actually got, man, I didn't even notice this. We got the rally base rally here, and then boom, 346 all the way up into 348. This is the strategy, folks. Buying this on an uptrending day. You made $2 in the underlying stock. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're buying the option at the money, that's why I prefer to get a little bit closer. You're getting that 50 cents or a dollar move in the option. Okay. NVIDIA is a beast. Wow, Apple up $4, huh? Should have noticed that a little bit earlier. I almost put that on my focus list today. Like, look at that Apple right up to the list here. The man, what a beautiful trade there. Yeah. All right. So where's our line in the sand here? Okay. Notice the line in the sand they never came back and got it, right? So you had a drop base and a higher high, right? Trades above the weekly edge. That's what's underneath this line here at 175.63. Nice base off of there, and then it was boom. I mean, look at the blueprints. Stays above the 9 all the way into target, folks. Beauty. Okay, yes, right up into our upper target there. Is that right? Let's see. Yeah, okay. Okay, so Alibaba is still underneath the monthly edge here, but is holding the 9 very well so far. NVIDIA continues to push up here. I was thinking about rolling into NVIDIA. I'm going to pull this up. Let's see where we got right here. Wrong one. That one. See where we are. Oh, wow. Okay. 141 is possible here. Looking at the 143 in case we get a blowout above the monthly there. It is still early. Coop continues to break down from that area I told you about earlier. I was looking for 100 to 10 to 99. I could also do I know you guys aren't into it, but a call debit on NVIDIA to reduce, um, to mitigate the risk here. But I hate that. I hate being capped. Netflix continuing to ride off the 9, folks. Nice trade there. NVIDIA, strong. Baba underneath the monthly. Boom. Just chilling at the monthly. I can't make this up, man. These edges they're a doozy. Um, the list, Coop lost the list, and now it's just kind of stuck there. Okay, some flow coming in on Tesla still. 185s are getting hit pretty hard on the 7th of this month. So this week, it's up 698. Let's take a look at this real quick. Yeah, Tesla's really got that look. Check that out right above the edge here. So I like this. Let's see if we can get. Are you in Tesla, Omer? Tesla. He's probably like, nah. Told you, man. The Dow Jones had another, I said 25.2. So yeah. Well, at least you have a strategy, right? So if you were to take this, to me, you want to stay above the 9 and above the weekly edge here, man. So it'd be a quick. I like it more of an equity trade, if it shows some strength here when it comes back down to touch. Um, Personally, I could get behind it on some. How about this Nvidia though? It keeps going. I'm almost tempted to buy the 143s at 115. Yeah, and there goes Tesla, man. Right after the bar setup here. Okay, Bob is going to give it another attempt up here into the monthly. See if we can get above there. Let's see what we got on Baba on the 1 hour really quick. Also, if you still like Nvidia, I still like the 143 calls for $1. They were going for $1.20. And this Tesla's looking really good as well. It gave you the setup there. Trying to see if we can get that 155. That's our line in the sand there on Baba. So if we can get above the monthly, I'm definitely interested in trying to see if we can get a quick spike above there. Make sure we're all good to go. Looks like it's poking through its little head there. There it goes. What do we got going up here on the Dow? Mm-hmm. Just get a little roller in here. See what BA is doing. Nice little gap fill up here at 347. Netflix, man, that was a nice trade down there. Netflix up 14. Jesus. Hey, what's Trade Flash? I have no idea what that is. Hey, Jared, I was talking about the 40 plus points this morning on the call. Yeah, so the reason why I said that is the Dow Jones, its supply zone wasn't until 25 260 or something like that, 270, which was indicating that the ES had another 20 points to run there, which was putting us at 40 plus. So we'll see. I'm just a little irritated that I let go of Nvidia so early, but I mean that's going to happen, right? Um, but going back, right? Excuse me. If you go back to the 10-minute on Nvidia, there's no reason to sell here. Notice how even on the 10-minute we haven't even come back to there. Shit, now we're getting up to that upper target here, which was the monthly edge. But I think even if you brought this thing down to a 2-minute, let's see. I mean, that was a great trade. Wasn't that 190 that we got in on those? Or was that, let me look over here on the trading journal. Yeah, those are $1.90 and they're going for 4.30 now. I mean, so many of these setups worked this morning, so I really hope that you guys took the time to, kind of watch this morning and or trade with me. It's already 10:10. I'm actually going to um, exit off of here. I mean, it's already, if you followed along, you had a great day already. Um, on that BABA, I went with one contract because I made what I needed to make for today. Just really quick, I'm also trading my IRA behind me. So the idea here is to just do your thing from here and manage this. If on BABA, since it's a smaller trade, let it go. Maybe test out the system, meaning, it's one contract, test out the system and see if it comes down. Um, let's see if we come down here into BABA. You got one contract on. The delta on this is 42. So for every dollar move, you're looking at 42 bucks, which would be nice if we could get another dollar out of it, squeeze another buck out of it. That would be nice. Really nice chart though, geez. And you can see here, I would like to sell right here at the line in the sand. If I were to do that, it would be, let's see here. Okay, 154.60. I would just come over here and I just want to show you guys this. It would be right there. You could sell for around 188, 190. So why not kick it up a notch? If gamma increases, it'll get bought. So anyways, before I jump off, if market keeps on trending up, you'll see that I buy some more trades. If we just kind of go sideways from 10:30 on, then excuse me, then it's a good time to kind of walk away. I'm right here though. I'm just not trading live. So I hope for those who jumped in the room, if you have any questions, please reach out to me and ask questions. As I say over and over, and this is not to um, beat a dead horse, but the system works. Okay, I'm telling you, the system works. It's the execution that traders have a hard time with. All right. So execute, have a plan to get out. If you cannot, if you're not good at getting rid of losers, right, then go smaller. Just go smaller. Get comfortable with the system. If it works for you, you're going to continue to trade the system and you can increase your size as you get more comfortable with trading the system. This is not something that you are going to get good at one day later. You know what I mean? You have to be patient. You have to train, you have to practice, and you have to get stronger and stronger. And then one day, you're going to look at it and be like, you're going to get your ass handed to you. And other days, you're going to kill it. But I think my biggest thing is, and just being very open, sometimes I lose customers because I know they're not patient and so they want to trade every day. But really the most important thing is we wait for our setup. If the setup's not there, don't trade it. If the setup's not there and you want to trade it, go smaller. Sometimes luck does prevail. Okay. Yeah, Justin, real quick, are you watching? Are you just on audio? Or are you on neither? Both. Okay, cool. I put Justin in the ticker. You're not trading, dude. TW, hello. That's funny. Ay. Why didn't I take Netflix? Why didn't I stay in the video longer? You know, it happens, folks. But you can't complain. It's an up day. So, Twilio, let's take a look here. From a 5-minute perspective, okay, this is 2. What's your bigger picture thesis here? So Troy, I'm not sure if you're listening, but it's pretty interesting how when our signals go off. Okay, so you should have the same signals, Jay. But when my signals go off, I cannot make this up. When my signals go off, the flow algo starts triggering. I cannot make this up, man. Isn't that incredible? Omer, have you like it's crazy, man. So my signals are going off and flow algo starts kicking off. You know what that means, right? Somebody stole my signals. No, I'm just kidding. But it's like something's weird. So my signals keep going off and then these things go off. Yeah, somebody came in here and took our stuff, man. That's what happened. All right, so Spy, Facebook, Pep, Marvel, Apple, all these things getting hit pretty hard. Apple getting hit pretty hard on the Facebook on the call side. You can pull your stops up now on Baba. Okay, so sorry, Twilio, you got the move into the line in the sand, and then you broke out, I got a buy signal here, Justin. So on my system, 5 minutes, you can see it's going from red to white. I would much rather buy the white and get it into the green than I would to buy the red, if that makes any sense. Um, but you are above. What you want is a cross here. You want the 9 EMA to cross above everything. And the only way you're going to get that is a nice move. And again, this is a 5 minutes, so don't take too much of this into, you know, to think that. I mean, you got a little zone here. I mean, it could stall out there. It's pretty weak on a strong day, um, which is, these names that were really strong before got hit really hard. So like, XLNX, Twilio, and so forth. All right. So Twilio, if we look at it from this perspective, you're going to have a little bit of headwinds here. You need the 9 to cross over. And I can let you know, Justin, if that happens. It doesn't mean you can't take the trade here. If you're going to take the trade here, you're anticipating we keep these lines and we keep the line in the sand. But my stop for the day would be right at the weekly edge and the line in the sand, which happen to be confluent with each other. Do you see that? So your stop, is below here at around 124. So that's $2 though. So just understand that. It's not bad from risk to reward. If you're trying to swing this into a couple days, it could work out, you know. Doc, you just got hit, Omer. Are you in? All right, so I'm out of Baba. That was a quick trade. Just adding some more money to the day. Oh, you're in Pep. I like Pep, man. Pep is pretty cool, and it can move. Oh, nice little down day, huh? So what's making you want to buy this? Just the calls that are being bought on it, or yeah, you saw where that got you on Facebook yesterday. I went back and I went back and analyzed that Facebook trade, man. That thing was ugly, man. It was going straight down. That was a perfect put position, though, man. When it broke the EMAs and came back and tested, I'd go back and study that on the 5 minute, that yesterday trade on Facebook. I think you might have made money on it real quick, but I know you exited quick. But just look at the put side, man. It was a perfect setup to the downside. And I do see this on PEP, this little buy zone down here. So far working out. Probably gets, could get a run up here to 128.96, man. So you might get like a buck in it or something. Yeah, yeah, that's awesome though. So, and and I want traders in here to have that kind of plan. You know, what does that plan look like? Again, if you're opening up gaps and you're taking something that you're not comfortable with, maybe go just a tad bit smaller and then add into it on strength. So how do you add into it on strength? Watch your EMAs, watch your advancers. Okay, what are the advancers doing? The advancers right now, folks, are making higher highs and higher lows. The market is advancing up. Okay, let's understand that. It's a great day to be adding. I mean, really, think about it. When I'm selling, we could have been adding and making more money. Let's go back and analyze Netflix really quick. I'm pretty sure we had Netflix in the focus trade room. Okay, approaching hourly TL on an upgrade. We'll watch for setup, some resistance above weekly and monthly edge. It took over those edges and then it kind of took off from there. And notice if we take this, even if you took the 5 minute, and I brought this up here live, is once we took over that 9, it looked really good, and look how it just rides that bad boy. Not bad, right? Um, I hate to do this, but I may start a swing in BABA and go a little bit further out. Oh, snap. He's going to put on a swing. But why not? Okay, I'm going to start a little swing here in BABA and give it a little bit of room. Just kind of rolling out, giving a little bit more time. Let's see here. All right, that's funny. It really is. This is 143s I mentioned on, sorry, yeah, 143s on NVIDIA are up already too, from 119 to 150. I put some of those in my IRA account here. I can't believe this thing just keeps moving here. What a day. What are you thinking, man? I don't even want to. Well, all right, guys. It's been awesome. I will see you in the morning. I'm going to be right here. So anything you guys want, please reach out and tell me. If there's something that kind of shapes up for the mid-afternoon, I'll jump back on. Again, this is more about culture. I want to be able to come in here, show you the setup, teach you the setup, trade together in the morning, make money, leave, close the door, come back the next day. That's what it's all about. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed yourself. We'll see you in the room here in chat. If you don't feel like chatting, that's okay too. Thanks again for your support, and we'll see you in the morning.